I'm going to do a review of the Mesa Boogie by DSP. Okay, so before I get started, I have to mention a few funny things. There was an attempt to make this video at least 3 previous times, and there was all kinds of weird things that happened. I don't know what. The first one was the files got corrupted. The second one, something was out of sync, and then it got trashed just accidentally. And there's some clips that have been on Instagram already mentioned to some of the presets I used and made a few things. anyway, we're here now, and try to make a review about this. And I'm going to go over the interface real quick. I just wanted to say that, so you know, I got an idea of why I'm doing this review now and not 2 years ago. And to add to that story, in fact, this sim still stands up now. I mean, I will discuss some of the comparisons to other Mesa Boogies and their different, you know, contributions to this sim, this amp. Okay, so the interface of Neural DSP is pretty much solid. So this interface now, you have preset menu of the actual sim with the defaults and all that, and the user, and here's all my presets down here. I have presets where I've tuned down this and that, and I'll get into that. So that's the preset menu. You know, there's funny things going on in Neural DSP presets that sometimes I would try to change their name and they won't change. I don't know what's going on. I wrote to them about that, but overall, it's a great sim. I mean, you know, there's just funny things that depending on your computer platform, what else could happen, you know. Anyway, so the very first row, you notice this stuff up here. But this is where you navigate between the pedals, the amp, the IR, an EQ, and the post effects. Now, you know, I wish they would allow you to add word NAM or something in your sim and mix it all up. Also, to add these effects between the preamp and the power amp of a sim. You know, like the real amps with the effects loop. When it comes to real amps, you have 2 preamps, 2 power amps. There are a lot of people out there who, you know, John Sykes, then Zach Wild, and so now I'm not sure if people realize this. That's how it's done. I put the chorus pedal in front of the amp sometimes, like Johnny Winter, to get a distorted, kind of boosted chorusy solos, and I do use this method with real amps. Or you know, on the board, I would flip this in. I'm just saying that it doesn't have a true effects loop in it, but it sounds absolutely stunning just with this. But let's get into the interface more. And so this is your, you know, basically your navigation guide up here. And then over here, the next row, you have the input levels, which I advise that your inputs on a lot of people with high Z put it on 0. You do get a signal, but you should turn it up a little bit. It acts also like a preamp, your interface, your audio interface. If you turn it up too loud, you can actually distort the sim. It's like having a EQ preamp. And so anyway, the input, try to make sure it doesn't go past 6. And then you have your gate, fiddle around with that until you get something going, where you fade out, where you want it to fade out. Your transpose is cool. You can go, you know, step down. That's really great. This is one of the things, you know, DSP nailed. I mean, you know. Then you have your mono stereo widths. You have the doubler, which acts kind of like what I explained before, actually, with the chorus pedal stereoed out. And you have the spread, which kind of is even cooler. You can actually control the doubler. Now, this is in a couple of other sims out there, but I have to say that Neural DSP, you know, is on top of their game when it comes to this stuff. And of course, the presets and your amp. And if you go down to the amp, you have the routine stuff, which, you know, you have an input. And you have the classic Mesa Boogie, because you can use this to flip over to the back of the amp. And although it would be nice to have a send return effects right here, you know, that's why I mentioned it, because this would be the classic amp to have that, maybe in the future. You have simulation class S, class A, all this stuff, you know, which is really cool. You can also turn around, I don't think you change the volts will blow it up, huh? For real. Anyway, so you got this going on. I don't know if the tubes actually light up. That would be interesting. I didn't try that. Let me get this. It seemed to light up. And if I go to something. Anyway, look, this wasn't set up correct. But then you have, like I said, you have the different amps. You have the different cabs when you turn. You could also flip around different cabs, 4x4s and 2x2s, I guess. Double cabs, you know. And when you get to the cab section, you can see that the head's colors change. You actually flip around. But yeah, you can see the cabs change sizes as well. And of course you have IRs and all that stuff. Now, in the effects section, let's start with the actual interfaces section by section now. I just tried to explain the main sim and its character and apps and the two heads that, you know, come in different cabs and all that stuff. Well, you got a compressor, overdrive 1, overdrive 2, and chorus. Okay, there's a little chart of what all these overdrives are based on, so you can see for yourself. And then of course the amp, and then of course the speakers, and you can see what these are based on. In addition to that, the CQ. Sometimes I like my floor. I have 10-band EQ on the floor for the amp. And by the way, this amp sounds really great if you have a physical TS9 pedal and stuff, and you go in front of your DAW and your interface into the amp. I don't know why people, when they show hardware pedals, they don't use sims. Okay, so then you have, of course, the IRs, and here you have the mics. And when you switch to the, if I'm correct, and when you I think you can load your own IRs. You can't right now. I'm not doing now. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can load your own IRs. Okay, here's a load IR. So you can load your own IRs, and it makes sense to replace the microphone because you can't use a microphone 3D miking with a loaded IR, which you could. But unlike the other sims, it shows you the actual amp with the cabs here. So when you flip around, you can get an idea. Now we're going to go to the post effects here. Where's the delay and the reverb, and this is what they're based on. Okay, so just making sure I said that clearly. We're gonna go and explore some clean sounds. We're going to go and explore some ambient sounds. We're gonna go and explore crunch sounds. We're gonna go and explore some high gain. had ChatGPT help me write it up. The Mark C was pivotal for the 80s and 90s. To compare it to other types of Mesa Boogie sims out there, the IK Multimedia Amplitude covers the Mark III and Rectifier, Tonex Capture Bass, Quality, Helix Generalized, NAMS Free but Basic, and then of course you have the same idea with JST with the Jeff Loomis. It's probably one of the best rectifiers out there. And then of course you have Mercurial and Kawasa and many other great companies, great options for Mesa Boogie. But this is one of the only standalone Mesa Boogie sims you can get, and you can walk away with your Cortex and use it and so forth and so on. Conclusions about this sim. I love this sim. And the Jeff Loomis and some of the Mercurial are my favorite Mesa Boogie sims. There's the from Overloud, and the does allow you to put effects between the preamp and power amp, I mean like a real amp. And but then I think you can load IR. If you can load IRs, you'll get a capture. But if you can load a VST like Axiom, that's interesting. You can load the Mesa Boogie in there or something like that, or whatever. I mean, I don't know if you can split the power section and the preamp section. I don't know. But you can load them in there, and that's enormous. But these are ecosystems we're talking about. These are not standalone sims. Whereas if the Jeff Loomis is standalone, this is standalone. Kawasa, generally, this is the closest you're going to get to. Maybe even has the logo on it. If you want a Mesa Boogie 2C, I wouldn't get this one. If you want a a rectifier, I think the Jeff Loomis or Mercurial cover really good rectifiers. You cannot complain about them. So the availability of real Mesa Boogie amps are rare and often hard to find in Europe, by the way. So if you're in Europe and you want to record something, I would go with this, especially the pricing issues. So there's your Mesa Boogie. Yeah, I would think this is the perfect solution for someone into that boogie sound and symmetrical sound and stuff like that. Well, thanks for watching, and I'm going to be doing more reviews of no DSP amps like the Meshuggah and Kali and more stuff. So if you enjoy this, stick around. while you're here, feel free to check out some of the electroform jewelry by myself and Mia. We also have an Etsy shop, and go ahead and do all that stuff like subscribe and follow us. We hope to see you again in the future.